nothing but the dog in me.
Why must I chase the cat?
Good evening and welcome to Pound Posse Presents. We're here, Zach, hey, can you fix that? Oh, sorry. Wow. We're here tonight on another rainy Saturday night, Memorial Day weekend. And being that it's Memorial Day weekend and a holiday, I'm just going to remind everyone, please safeguard your pets. If you're going to have people over, if you're going to have functions, barbecues, parties, etc. You know, it's not your dog's responsibility not to get into picnic food or barbecue food or drinks that are left out. That's your responsibility. You know, if you're going to have people in and out of your house because you're doing an outside and inside thing, remember that it's also not your dog's nor your guest's responsibility to make sure that your animals stay where they belong. To keep them gated, crated, or closed in a room is probably your best bet. You know, a dog's going to run out a door, a cat's going to run out a door. If someone is coming in and out and leaves it open or doesn't close it quick enough, why go through the heartache of losing a pet and having to deal with that when it's not necessary? If you're going to have kids running around, and you know, kids will run around, carry on, scream, play, and you have a dog that's nervous or excitable or maybe has a strong prey drive, you might want to rethink having the dog out and mingling with your guests, because that's a recipe for disaster. And if it's going to be a long day, remember to give your dog a break if your dog is part of the festivities. And finally, if there's going to be fireworks, because, you know, I just hate fireworks. So if there's going to be some fireworks, remember that even if you don't think your dog minds, it could be already stressed out because of all the activity in your house. Make sure your dog's inside for the fireworks and someplace safe where it can't do any damage to itself, can't get out. You know, even in a yard, a dog can run away. Just when, you know, you think that, oh yeah, you know, Fluffy doesn't mind. Fluffy might mind this time. So save yourself the agony and safeguard your pet. It's your responsibility. And Memorial Day is basically the unofficial start of summer. And summer is traditionally a really slow and very deadly time for animals in shelters. You know, adoptions just drop off and people are busy having their summer, and dogs languish in shelters, in cages, in kennels with no interest and no hope. And you know what happens? They get killed either because they've been there for too long or for space because the shelter's full because nobody is adopting. So this is a good time to start thinking about adding a family member. You know, it's the perfect time. Look ahead to the fact that your family is going to be home. You can get a dog acclimated to things. You might have a little more time. You know, not everybody goes on vacations, and really not for anything. I have not been on a vacation since 1998, and even at that, I had a dog with me. And you know, that's just my lifestyle. I understand that it's not everybody's. But, you know, bringing a dog home is a responsibility. You have to kind of make adjustments. And, you know, you can bring a dog home and kennel it while you're away. There's some good places out there. You can make provisions. You can bring the dog home after your vacation. But don't put it on the back burner. If we're going into the season and some of these shelters are already full and have dogs that have been there for a long time, that's a recipe for disaster. There's no two ways about it. We can't do enough to save these dogs. And you know, there really are some people who run Facebook pages and who promote these animals tirelessly. And I do say thank you to those people, because without them, a lot of them wouldn't have the exposure. So this is my moment of hats off to you For all the screaming from the mountaintops in the world, unfortunately, sometimes people just don't heed the call. But, you know, your efforts are definitely appreciated, and please keep up the good work. I do try to post animals, you know, when I see them, when, you know, sometimes there are certain ones that break your heart, and anybody can feel free, all of you Facebook posters can feel free to post on the Pound Posse Presents page, any urgent animals, any animals that need special attention, any animals you would like me to cover on the show. Don't forget, I write an examiner.com column, and I'd be happy to, you know, put out a story about a particular animal if necessary. So feel free to, again, post on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page, and also if it's something of a more private or needs more detail to my attention, you can always email me at pawprints713@aol.com. Once again, that's PAWPRINTS713@aol.com, or if we're Facebook friends, just message me. I'll tell you, that whole Facebook thing with the messaging and the other mailbox, I've missed stuff and have had many apologies because, you know, Facebook system isn't exactly flawless. But I'm going to talk about some of the animals that I saw out on Facebook today that do need homes, that are in need. Some of them are in pounds, some of them are with private rescues, but all of them need a place to go, a place to call home. And, you know, if it's a dog that you think you can help, by all means, please do. Now, the first thing that I'm going to mention is that Bridgeport is full, Bridgeport Animal Shelter. And, you know, there's lots of great dogs there. When you read the posts of you know, just the little descriptions of these dogs, they're wonderful. And, you know, a full shelter is a scary shelter for those of us who know what's going to happen. And believe me, I feel that these dogs know what happens to the dogs that do not come back to their kennels. It's got to be a very scary and horrifying thing for them. But anyway, Zach, can you bring up either one of the Bridgeport pictures is fine. There's one with 3 dogs. Oh, so only 2 of them are showing up. Okay, that's all right. This picture has Minnie, Isis, and Brooklyn, and they are just a few. There's another picture that we're going to show that's going to be probably better to see more of these dogs. There you go. Minnie's description: she's quiet, calm, she's a great family dog. Isis is a great dog but needs to be an only dog. Brooklyn has been sad and lonely in the kennel. Brooklyn is a pocket pit, smart and well behaved. And on this picture there are some duplicates, but there is some good news because a couple of them have made it into foster homes. But whether you can read that sign or not, top left to lower right, you've got Leo, Nate, Buster, Bertha, Beast, Isis, Nellie, Wiggles, Minnie, Pickles, Molly, and Chloe. Now, yeah, we're chuckling over the name Pickles. Leo and Beast are the 2 that are now in foster homes, but all of these dogs can be considered urgent. Like I said, I read that Bridgeport is full and full of wonderful dogs. So, you know, even if there's not one that you see pictured here that catches your fancy, I'm pretty sure if you went down and visit, you might just find the dog that does it for you. You know, there's chemistry involved when you meet a dog. Sometimes it's mannerisms, sometimes it's, you know, that face, sometimes it's that look. But, you know, above all, you really should, even if the dog is like the dog of your dreams visually, it may not have the temperament that fits into your home. So you really do have to ask yourself the right questions. You have to assess the animal, and, you know, you have to decide whether it's one that fits into your home. You know, the most beautiful dog in the world could be far too much energy for you, could need more training than you can offer it. And you know, that sad looking dog in the other kennel that maybe isn't the most beautiful thing you ever saw could be that perfect dog for you. So keep an open mind and keep an open heart when you are down at the shelter, and remember that their personalities don't always present truly in the kennel environment. You know, you can have a dog that's really hyper, you can have a dog that's, you know, barking and seems, you know, kind of like, I don't want to say aggressive, but you know, sometimes they do get defensive in a cage. It may not necessarily be the same way they're going to be when they come out of that kennel and get some attention and get their zoomies out and settle into a home, you know. So think about it, you know, take the advice of the shelter personnel who have been dealing with these dogs. You know, no, they don't know everything about them because most of them are strays, but, you know, think about it, consider it carefully, and choose wisely. But anyway, the phone number, in case you are interested in any of the dogs in Bridgeport, is 203-576-7727. Once again, that's 203-576-7727. And we're going to switch gears. And Zach, can you bring up Benton? Benton is urgent in New Haven. He is gorgeous, and I wish someone hadn't chopped his ears like that. I don't understand. I just don't understand cropping and docking and home jobs and, you know, the cruelty involved in that. But that's just me. He is gorgeous. Look at that face. Poor Benton has been sitting in New Haven since January, and he is starting to deteriorate. He's looking a little skinny there to me, and you know, that's part of it. Dogs are pack animals. They'd rather be crashed on your couch than stuck in a kennel, than separated from, you know, people. It's not the best environment for them when they're in a kennel and there's, you know, all the other dogs are barking, and it's just not home. You know, yeah, they're with their own kind, but what kind of life is that? And it's just really sad when they start to fall apart. They just want to go home. They want to be part of the pack. They want to be part of the family. You know, Benton is 6 years old. He was picked up with another dog who has already been adopted. He's already gone home. Benton loves people. He's good with most dogs. He's okay with cats. I mean, how much more can you ask for? You know, a dog that's going to get along with other dogs and is cool around cats. That's a beautiful thing, because that's not every dog. There are some dogs that just can't do cats and don't like other dogs. And, you know, here you've already got, you know, a guy you can bring home and make part of the family. Benton knows some commands. He loves to go for walks. He's very well behaved. And because of his strength and his energy, they would prefer that he would go to a home with kids over 10. You know, I've covered that before. It's not because they're going to attack a child. It's because they're strong. It's because they don't know their own strength. It's because, you know, they're wiggy, waggy, happy, maybe jumpy bundles of mush that, you know, could hurt a small child by accident. So you don't want to put anybody in a situation to fail. So an older child is usually the best way to go when you've got, you know, a big, strong dog. You know, there are some children who are brought up with these kind of dogs and they kind of know the boundaries, and that's a beautiful thing, but that's not every situation. So definitely Benton is ready to be a family dog, but maybe a particular family. And the phone number for New Haven is 203-946-8110. Once again, that's 203-946-8110. Let's get him safe, because urgent means just that. He can likely be killed at any time without notice. So by all means, if that face is drawing you in like it's doing to me, I mean, he's just sucking me right in. I mean, he's gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Just look at those eyes. Look at that smile. He's fabulous. Do it. If you're interested, give them a call, because it could be too late if you hesitate, and that would really be a tragedy. I'll take the camera back for a second, and not only are there dogs, like I said, in the pounds that need homes, there are dogs and cats. I mean, I don't exclude cats, but there are animals who are with private rescues who also need homes. They're in foster homes. Most rescues do work that way now. They have a network of foster homes, and that's how they're able to save animals. They can pull them from a pound. They can take them from, an owner surrender, and they put them in their foster homes. And if there is an animal that is sitting in a foster home without being adopted, unfortunately, that holds them up from being able to take more animals in unless they have more fosters. So, for anyone to think, oh, that dog's with a rescue, it's fine. Yeah, it is, but it's at the expense of the next dog who could come along and need to be saved and can be saved by being put in the foster home. So it is a cycle. If you adopt from a rescue, you are essentially enabling another dog in a pound or another bad situation to be saved. Also, and I'm going to throw it out there, if you're not ready to adopt, you can always foster. And, I certainly can hook you up with any number of rescues who would welcome you with open arms as a foster home, if that's what you can do. But in the meantime, I'm going to take a look at a couple of dogs that are in rescue, and let's get the picture of Minnie up, please. This is Minnie, and she is with Project Precious Rescue. And, I love those gals over at Project Precious. They are really, Katie and Christy are fabulous. They've been on the show, and, I support them, with my heart entirely. They've helped me out in a number of situations, and they really have their hearts into it for all of it. And they really care about their animals. And this is little Minnie. She is in a loving foster home, and she is looking for forever. She is 8 to 10 years old. She would do best in a quiet adult home, and she does have a little Chihuahua attitude. And for those of you who know what I mean, you're smiling. But probably the best thing for her would be to be in a situation where someone is familiar with the little Chihuahua Napoleon complex that goes on. Little Minnie is 5 pounds, and she is pee-pad trained. Unfortunately, some of those little dogs just don't like to ever really get with the program. And trust me, I knew what I'm talking about. Anyway, if you are interested in Minnie, if you can give this little older gal a home, and I'm loving her little face too, please email projectpreciousrescue2@gmail.com. That's all one word, projectpreciousrescue, the number 2@gmail.com. And the next dog we have is also a Project Precious dog, and that is Clark Kent. If we can have his picture up, please. There's Clark. He is a gorgeous boy. He came to Project Precious at 12 weeks old with 2 broken legs. And that was really just a tragedy. And Clark has had surgery. He's gone through his recovery. He's gone through some training. And he apparently was placed, but unfortunately, Clark is not a cat person. And he needs to be in a home without cats. He's good with other dogs. He's about a year old now. He's another absolutely beautiful dog. I look at these faces, and it's just heart melting. They're just, you look into their eyes, and I feel the love. I really do. There's no animal that deserves not to have a home. And yes, Clark is in a loving foster home as well, but he would just love to have his forever. as they all would, imagine being that dog that, gets bounced around, and it's kind of, well, they don't know what's going on. They're like, ooh, you're my people. And then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, wait, no, you're my people? Oh, wait, who are my people? I think I'm far too empathetic. And, I may be right, I may be wrong, but I always feel bad when, a home doesn't work out, they're in foster, and then they go to their forever home. I mean, of course, forever home is the goal, but, you just have to wonder what goes on in their little heads for all the bouncing around. But to be in a forever home is what Clark needs, and if you are interested in Clark, you can go to pprct.org and check out the application and submit one and see what happens. Once again, that's pprct.org, and there you will find applications. You can actually probably get the application for Minnie as well. The next dog that I would like to bring up is one that we did cover once before, and that would be Lucky. And Zach, if you can scroll through those, that is one handsome boy. Bikers Against Animal Cruelty was on the show not too very long ago, and we showed Lucky. I just love that picture. We showed Lucky, and we talked about him a little bit. Unfortunately, Lucky is losing his foster home, and it was supposed to be as of this weekend, but he has gotten a reprieve. He's got a little more time, but he definitely still needs a place to go. Now, Lucky has been bounced around. Unfortunately, he's another one. He, was taken in as a youngster, and he was, he had mange, and he had some health problems, and Bikers Against Animal Cruelty got him all fixed up. He got placed in a home. He lost his home, and now he's been in foster. And as I said, that he's losing his foster home, so he's had kind of a rough time, and it's sad. He needs to be an only dog. He needs to be an only pet, which again, that's, as we discussed when they were on the show, it's a niche adoption. If you know someone who maybe only had one dog and just recently lost it, that's the perfect situation to consider a dog that needs to be an only pet. He also needs to be around older kids because of his strength and his activity level. Lucky is very smart. He's very trainable. He needs to be in a home, probably with someone who's got bully breed experience, because some dogs do like to test limits, and, they need to know that you're the boss. So Lucky is an adult dog, and he is just absolutely gorgeous and running out of time in his foster home, like I said, so it's kind of important to find him a place to go. So if you are interested in adopting or fostering Lucky, you can go to bikersagainstanimalcruelty.org. That's bikersagainstanimalcruelty.org. And Zach, I will take the camera back, and briefly I'm going to mention a couple of upcoming events. Wolf Central is kicking off the education series that they run every year. Tomorrow is their first event at 2 p.m. in Southington, and ATCA, the Wolf Conservation Center Ambassador Wolf, will be there. So you will actually get to meet a wolf in person, which, is pretty cool in my book. You can email info@wolfcentral.org. You can check out the Wolf Central Facebook page, or you can see the event posted on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. And once again, that's info@wolfcentral.org. That's tomorrow's event. And they also have a Wolves to Wales bus trip coming up. You get to visit with wolves at Wolf Hollow, and you also go on a whale watch, a 7 Seas whale watch trip. And for more information on that, info@wolfcentral.org. Once again, you can check out the Wolf Central Facebook page or the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. That's upcoming in June. and they did one last year, and I know they had a great time. So surely this year will be as much fun as it was last year. I mean, you get to visit with wolves, you get to go out on a boat and see whales. I've been on whale watches. They are awesome. You never know what you're going to find. And one last thing I'd like to mention, gearing up, looking for bakers and volunteers for a bake sale that's going to be happening. Well, probably a series of bake sales, but we're going to start small and do one at a time. If anyone is interested in finding out more, you can once again email me at pawprints713@aol.com. That's PAWPRINTS 713@aol.com, or you can message me through Pound Posse Presents or my personal Facebook page, and I can tell you more. But bakers and volunteers for a date in July, and that will be a benefit for Hounds Healing Heroes and Best Friends for Life Rescue. Anyway, we're gearing up to say goodnight, and I'm going to wish you all a very nice rest of your Memorial Day weekend. And hopefully, like I say, we can band together and save some of these animals. Keep your own animals safe. If you've got any animals, dogs, cats, whatever, that you want to bring to my attention to show, on the show, I'm more than happy to do it. Time to time I have people contact me about lost dogs and, dogs that need homes, cats that need homes, things that need to be exposed. And I'm more than happy to go there. And if you are somebody who has a foster dog, you want to come on the show, you're more than welcome. I'm always happy to have you. There are some requirements, but if you reach out to me, I can tell you what they are. Anyway, how much time do we actually have left? Because I'm watching the clock. A little more than 30 seconds. Wow, I timed that one well. Anyway, I guess we can start rolling the credits, and I'll say a very slow peace, love, and dogs. Until next week, have a good one, and good night.